This week for my collection of ideas, I did 3 poems and 2 other. My poems were very good and very useful. They were different than the poems I thought that I would find, just because they talked about perseverance rather than told a story about perseverance. So that was a little different. I used TPCast and DidList for 2 of my poems, and that was really helpful. It helped me separate parts of the poem and look at other parts more in depth. For the other poem, I just analyzed the theme and some of the things that were in it, like the diction and how, like the word choice and the language worked with the poem to bring the point across. And they were all very interesting poems. They were from very different cultures, especially the third one. It had a really southern dialect and used a lot of slang words that made it really effective. For my 2 others, the one I used a quote about perseverance. That was really interesting because a lot of the things I found have tried to define perseverance, and the quote that I found, it defined it in a completely different way. It compared it to something completely different, and so that was really useful. And I'll definitely be using it in my final paper. And the other that I used was a Bible verse, and I chose a Bible verse to get like a different culture aspect about perseverance. The verse was really short, and it was really useful. It talked a lot about, it kind of told a story in a really small way, but it was very useful and very interesting to look at. So this week was very successful. I chose really good techniques for all my things, and I hope it continues this way. I guess the only questions I would have are how could I find some more longer poems and more storytelling kind of poems rather than the almost amateur poems that I found. So that's all.